Hi, this is Chucky, and I'm going to come up with I'm going to make a couple videos on surviving Burning Man. Um, Several videos of a couple minutes short. That way you don't get too tied up on one topic. So, one of the videos is, I guess the first one is going to be for like water usage. Surviving Burning Man and using water. The first time I went, 2013, I took like 25 gallons of water and I just barely made it. I ended up borrowing this other guy's 5 gallons of water because I thought I wasn't going to have enough. And I ended up having too much with that. So it takes at least 20 gallons of water. That includes drinking, bathing, washing dishes, and washing clothes. It takes about at least 20 gallons. That's that's more than a gallon a day. So I'm suggesting 2 gallons a day. Two gallons a day is only 15 gallons though, so that's not enough. I'm guessing 3 gallons a day. 3 gallons a day covers just about everything. And I'll go over what all those things are in a minute. Getting the water there is sometimes a challenge, and you may be challenged on getting the water there. But you've got to try, because without the water, you probably won't survive, and then you'll be leaving home early. So for the water, I would take like at least 21 gallons of water. That should be enough if you're really careful. I would take 30 gallons to be on the safe side. That is 6 5-gallon containers. I'm taking near 40 gallons. It'll be about, I've got a 7-gallon can, a 6-gallon can, a 5-gallon can, a 15-gallon can. So that's 30 gallons right there, and plus 33, and then plus a 2-gallon water can that I'll be drinking out of with a little spigot for easy drinking and filling up water bottles, and then a little water siphon pump thing to transfer water from the big water filler tank, 15-gallon one, into the other smaller ones. Okay, for water usage, this is a big one. Let's see. I usually drank, whenever I went in 2013 to Cargo Cult, I ended up filling up a water bottle every morning and pretty much draining it in the first hour or two after getting up. I then drank a water bottle with every meal, and then before going to bed, so it was like 5 or 6 quarts a day just in drinking. Okay, I had to make sure that the film is still on. Let's see. That's just for drinking. I'm guessing 6 full water bottles. If you have like a full quart, 6 full water quarts. So that's like a gallon and a half a day. So that's just for drinking. So 7 times. You can count up the quarts. That's like 21 quarts, but I'm trying to speak in only gallons. That way you can keep the numbers straight. You can get fooled on water cans, because some water cans are labeled 20 liters. Oh, that sounds like a lot of water, but it's only 5 gallons because there's 4 liters in a gallon. So you have to be careful with that. Oh, I have 60 liters worth of water, but it's only like, I don't know, you do the math. It's not even 20 gallons. So, yeah. Okay, other water usage. Some of the water usage includes washing dishes. For washing dishes, you only use like 1 or 2 drips of dishwashing soap. Just enough to put little bubbles on top of the water, and then that's it. And you swish it around and you get a little bit of foam of dish soap, and that's all you need, because you still have to rinse it. So to wash the dishes in like half a gallon of water, in a small bowl. You take a small bowl and you make sure it's a different color than your bathing bowl, which will be the same size. That way you keep your water usage low. But don't use a 5-gallon can to take a bath in. It only needs to be like a 1-gallon bowl or bucket or something. Something very small for a wash rag, one dish and whatnot. So you put like 2 quarts of water into your small other colored bowl, like red or green, and you put a little drip of dishwashing liquid in it, wash your dish, set the dishes aside, and then when you're done, you dump that water out into another 5-gallon bucket where you store the water that is dirty. You then fill the small bowl up with like another half-gallon of clean water, and then just kind of rinse it out a little bit, or dribble water out of one of the water cans over it to get the soapy water off of it. That way you don't use a whole lot of water. It's easier that way, and if you don't use much soap, you don't have to use a lot of water to rinse with, and the dirty water accumulates. Okay, just keep that in mind. So you only end up using, like, if you're lucky, 1 whole gallon washing dishes per meal twice a day. Breakfast, you can either leave them dirty or whatever. Lunch, try to fix a lunch without using dishes. And I ate twice a day, so it was like morning and then late afternoon, ate my meal, and then I only had to wash dishes twice, and that was enough. And it ended up being like a gallon, less than a gallon every day. So you're also going to use water for cooking. That previous was only for washing dishes. For cooking, you're going to use like 1 quart of water if you have like all dried foods and whatnot. If you eat oatmeal, rice, starches, those all take for one person, one little meal. 1 cup of dried goods takes about 2 cups of water in order to boil, let it soak up, and then it's cooked. If it's rice or beans and they have to cook a while, then you have to add more water. So you're guessing about 4 cups per serving for any boiled goods that have to sit there and cook for a while. 4 cups per serving. So it's like 1 quart cooking a meal for one person. And that water is going to cook away, so you don't have to add that to your dirty water list. Okay? You add it in, and there you go. So you got 1 quart of water cooking per meal. Coffee, same way in the morning. 2 cups of water for your oatmeal, and 2 cups for your coffee in the morning. Perfect. Okay? So that's your cooking water out of the way. About a quart a meal for anything that's starched up. Another quart to drink during the meal, and then anything else which is cooked in the meal, which has to have water in it. It's ideally you want to not have, like, well, anyway, I cook all dried food, so that's just me. You have to tailor it for whatever your cooking needs are with whatever food that you take. But those are just mine. Coffee, tea, dried goods is what I use. About 2 cups a meal, one person. And then usually it ends up being a quart when you add everything together. Okay, so that's for cooking. Okay, next is bathing. Bathing's a little more difficult. You have to use a different colored bowl than what your dish bowl is, because it comes off your body and you're putting it, and you only want it to go in the bowl and nowhere else. So for the bathing part of it, it's still like half a gallon into the bowl, and it's you can either warm the water up or whatever. It doesn't even have to be warm because it's so hot out there. You fill the bowl up, like if it's a 1 gallon bowl or whatever, and you put the soap on a microfiber towel. You want to have 1 microfiber towel for bathing, and also for cleaning yourself after using the restroom. It makes for a much happier being happier out there in the desert if you're clean. And so you can use a microfiber towel to clean yourself every time you go to the restroom. You can then clean yourself with it, and then when you get back to your camp, you clean it in the body bowl, not the dish bowl, but the body bowl. So then for bathing, so you fill the body bowl up with water, warm water preferably, if you put it out in the sunshine. You put a drip of liquid soap. You don't want to use bar soap. Bar soap is waxy. It leaves a mess. It gets tangled up in the hair. It clobbers up, and it's a mess. You want to use liquid soap. Liquid soap comes off easier, rinses off easier, smells better, doesn't leave residue, etc. So so we got that liquid soap. Preferably one that has a little bit of smell to it, a little bit of fragrance is probably better. And so there you have it. A little bit on the microfiber towel, and then go to washing. But each limb, so it's arm, wash an arm, rinse it out in the body bowl. Wash the other arm, rinse it out in the body bowl. The body, rinse it out your head and hair, wash it out. A leg, rinse it out in the body bowl. Another leg, rinse it out in the body bowl. You put a couple drips of soap on the microfiber towel before each thing that you wash. Then the private area, same way. A little bit of soap, and then wash up, and then rinse it out in the body bowl. So if you did use the microfiber towel at the restroom the last time that you went, and I only try to use the restroom before taking a bath, that makes it a lot easier because then you aren't rinsing out the microfiber towel and whatnot. So I only try to use the pooper once a day, and then of course with the rest of the wet business, I don't, whenever it is during the day, but I don't use a microfiber towel for that. So, only for the pooping business does the microfiber towel get used. But then I come back and rinse it out. So you also have to have like washing detergent, and you use the body bowl for that, not the food bowl or the dish bowl. You use the body bowl for the washing of clothes too, because it goes on your body. It doesn't go in your body, it goes outside your body. And on that note, everything that comes from the body, from your own body, may be okay because because it's your body and it came from your body. It was from stuff that already lives and exists in your body. So it isn't like it's dangerous chemicals or anything like that. You should feel comfortable cleaning yourself in and around whatever with the poopy business, because you have to stay clean out there. If you're not clean, if you're not hygienically clean, it makes for a miserable time. So anyway, then once you're done bathing, you then dump out the water and add that 1 gallon to your dirty water list, and then do a little rinse in the bowl, add fresh water, and then wipe yourself down again, whole body in the same order, each limb, the main body, the private parts, rinsing it out each time in the 2 quarts of water and the body bowl water. And then finally rinse the microfiber towel out with a little bit of liquid soap, and then rinse it out, and you're done. You can dribble water out of one of your water bottles through the microfiber towel and be done with it. So that's your bathing water. So I guess that's it. So bathing water, drinking water, it's about 1.5 gallons a day. Probably, about 1.5 gallons. Washing dishes, it's about, in the dish bowl, it's about maybe 1 gallon a day. And then for bathing, it's probably about 2 gallons. So you can add that up. You're looking at about 3.5 gallons a day. But you just got to be able to take the water. That's all. If you take 30 gallons, way plenty. But if you got a lot of people, you got to add that 30 gallons each for each person. Besides that, let me see. Drinking, bathing, dishwater. I think that's it. But hopefully that's enough information to give you a good start. That's information that I followed whenever I went the first time. So good luck with that. That's the water talk.